Hello, guys. How are you? We are here again, podcast 29, with Anton Gotsmanov. Gotsmanov. The Russão. The Russão.
If you want to drink a little bit closer to you,
Yes, sir.
good.
All
Like
right.
a fist away, you'll be in a good spot. People will hear you well.
Before we start,
All right.
I'm so sorry, guys. We lunch right now here 4:51. I'm working all day. My last meal is like around 90. I'm so hungry. We should get that meal done here now. You know what I mean? Shout out for our sponsor, PBJJF. Well, Brave Kimonos and Roll Live. You know, if you guys want to get some nice gear, like go for bravekimonos.com
The best.
and check it out. The Russão wear
Russão.
brave, you know, all
Yes,
the
sir.
time. Yeah, man.
Very
He knows.
very
If you
comfortable.
wanna get on the website, just scan the QR code, you know, on top Russão heads, you know. That's for the
QR
tournaments,
code
not the
is
Brave
pretty
anymore. All right, I'm sorry. That's the new QR code. But go for bravekimonos.com. We can find everything there. Use
In
your
the
code.
description, they can see the website.
The
as well.
website in the description. Perfect. If you guys use our code, you get 10% off PBJJF, okay? And Roll Live, thank you for the support. If Roll Live don't exist, probably this podcast don't exist. You know, they help us on the setup and everything. They doing the live streams on all events. That's a really nice thing to the PBJJF events. No, we can
That's who does it. The live stream.
live stream
Yeah.
on our events, man. We doing, you know, and just check your fights or check your friends competing,
Yeah.
whatever, you know, on a YouTube channel. Enjoy, cause it's free too, you know. Why not?
Oh yeah, no, nobody does that kind of production. You know, like the high quality video of like, regular students. It's not like the best or getting the highlights. Like you taking videos of white belts, little kids. You know, I feel like that's cool for someone to see.
It is, and we wanna have our tournaments in a way where the amateur athletes, right, the hobbyists, they can feel like they're having professional
Professional,
experience.
Yeah.
professional experience.
So
That's what
they can
goals.
share their matches with their family or people that can come and support them at the event. They can watch them live. You know, and on the platform we have the scoreboard. You know, like the
Yes.
name of the students, the
Yeah.
school, so people can see.
The points,
the point
they show
system.
up the point system.
Time, you know,
The
it's hard to
winner-
watch
at
a
the end,
match.
The end, the fight is the nice one. They pop up the winner. You know,
Oh, the
match.
live stream, amazing. Yeah, I forgot about that. I was talking
Yeah.
about the Instagram feed, but I
That's
was
right,
on the
Instagram
live
feed.
stream
The
on
live stream
Oh
on
yeah,
the-
Mad by
on the-
Matt. I mean,
Yeah.
on the competition, you know,
So-
that's the really nice thing.
a lot of our guys were watching last time
Cool.
from home.
Yeah, we always talk about this, man. We wish everybody could have the experience that we have, you know, like when we compete the events, the largest events. Like, what if we do this to every single
Event.
competitor,
Right.
An event, you
And
know?
not for a premium thing.
every
It's available to
even the
everybody.
kids, man. But like,
Right.
and sometimes, like, I don't know, you have a kid and your parents live in another state,
Yeah.
and he go do his
Grandparents,
first tournament. You know,
Mm-hmm.
man, the grandparents can watch the kid
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
compete. You know, celebrate, tell him after, hey, I see that they did or whatever. It's good.
put on the
experience.
TV, you know, give them the
Yeah.
like, man, like watching you on the TV.
I feel like when Smooth Comp came about, I feel like now all the tournaments have the same sort of, organizing registration, right? But now who's gonna add more? Whose product is gonna be more fun? You know what I mean? Give more value, right?
Yeah,
Value is probably a word you use a lot, you
True.
know. So I like that. We really enjoyed the last event for sure.
And we're all about growing jiu-jitsu, and we had the experience of competing many tournaments, the highest tournaments. Max is still competing out there.
Yeah.
I was like, hey,
Sometimes.
this needs to be available for everyone.
Yeah.
Why we don't have the athletes from the East Coast out with the spotlight?
Yeah.
So many talents here. you
East
know?
Coast Jiu Jitsu is pretty much now not exist. You know.
Now it is PBJJF.
yeah.
It has the
We pushing. People
Yeah.
need to hear about
I
us.
like it,
you know
I
what
like
mean?
it.
With the powerful spot on the world,
Mm-hmm.
the MVR here, you know, people need to hear
East
about us.
Coast.
East
Yeah,
Coast,
like
you know.
I think we'll see more growth. And the mission we were talking about before, hey, we're gonna expand around the world and bring the world to East Coast. You're gonna see that happening, but we cannot do without you.
Yes, sir.
You're helping every professor, everybody supporting us. And before I had a podcast with Amanda earlier here. I was talking to her. Hey, now we can't. We have the mission. We're pushing the mission. We can't back out anymore. We can't quit anymore because we have people supporting behind us, push us. Like, you guys don't want to do this? Let's do it. We're with you. Now we can't. Like,
They're
if we
tuning in,
want
they're
it, we
tuning in.
can't.
Yeah.
You know,
Events are on the calendar. Let's go.
events on the calendar. You know, like
Yes.
that's happening. And we
If
appreciate
you-
the support.
If you look at our schedule, we gonna find it. We will find an event close to you.
Yeah.
We can like Baltimore, DC, Virginia Beach,
Philadelphia.
Philadelphia, New Jersey,
Jersey, Boston,
Pittsburgh,
Pittsburgh.
Maybe New York, right? Bring it back.
Bring it back to New York.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man, like we're pushing hard, you know, man.
it's happening.
Please, and
Charlotte.
If you miss this tournament, where they
Hey,
go?
if you
miss
want to
out.
be, if you do want to be big in jiu-jitsu, you gotta compete at PBJJF. If you
Cool.
want to go big and do well, if you want to have the spotlight, PBJJF is the tournament for you to go. If you haven't done PBJJF, go right now to the PBJJF .smoothcomp.com website.
Or scan the QR code of the
Scan the
TV.
QR code right there, and you can join the first event, to register for the event. You know, you have
Be
ranking.
part of the movement.
Be part of the movement.
Yeah.
You know, you
Hey.
can definitely.
Forget again.
June 10th. June 10th coming to
June
Philadelphia.
10th, Philadelphia.
Let's
If
go.
you want to meet, you know,
Let's go.
Anton, Professor Anton there.
We'll be
You're
there.
gonna see him. You see him there.
Yeah.
Me and Max, we're probably gonna be at the event. We can't have physically be in all of the
Oh,
events.
yeah.
But we try to be as much as we can. You know, sometimes we split. He goes to one, I go to another one.
Yeah, this next weekend we have DC and Pittsburgh. JP will be in DC. I will be on Pittsburgh. You know, but 2 events back to back. If
Yeah.
we both get in the same event Saturday and in the same event Sunday, we're gonna get crazy.
Yeah.
You know, but like when we split ourselves, is
Teamwork.
Teamwork,
Teamwork,
yeah.
yeah,
And we have
that's-
a good team behind us as well that works with us here at the office. So we're really trying to make big things happen.
I can tell the enthusiasm is there. You know, we have your events on our calendar, so we're ready to go.
That's awesome. Hey, you want to put your students on the map. That's the way to go.
Let's go.
PBJJF. And yes, I think
Anton support us since the beginning.
since the
no?
beginning,
For sure.
It's the guy.
since the beginning,
Yeah.
for
So
sure.
like first time I met him, I think it's on the Pan Ams. The Pan Ams we talking about.
Yeah.
You know, like 2021 maybe.
Yeah, 21. Yeah.
21. You know, and like every time we see each other, you know, it's fun.
It's great to get to know
yeah.
you because we live in different estates. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But
We still have the connection. Who sound?
The
I
sound.
like it.
yeah, no, like I said before we came in, you know, I look up to this guy because he's doing a lot of business moves and competing at a high level, and I'm trying to figure out how to maintain both and do well in both. You know?
He just asked me, and I told him just don't sleep.
I'm like, I tried that already.
Just kill it, guys. Just kill it.
But I think like so. Anthony, tell us a little bit about yourself to people that don't know you yet, and can present yourself to
Yeah,
everybody.
so my jiu-jitsu journey started almost 16 years ago. I was in college lifting weights, and we kept actually getting kicked out of the college gym for dropping weights and normal guy, normal meathead behavior. And then they were like, okay, you guys, this is. I said, okay, I'll find another gym, and I walk into another gym that lift weights. And the wall was split, and I saw Matt's ring and stuff like that. I said to the woman, "What's what they got over there?" She said, "You go over there, you're not coming back here." I said, "All right, I got to check it out." And the guy was such a good salesman, at the time. He saw me. He said, got good gym muscles. You could out arm wrestle me right now. But what do you think as far as real world application? Your body. It's not ready for if me and you fought. And
And like, no, I can beat you up.
but I sat there and thought about it. He said, listen, you can walk away right now and then pretend this never happened, or you can sign up and, actually apply yourself to something, And I'd say, okay, no trial class, I still
Sign me up.
I got to learn how this guy does it, because this is a long time ago, but he got me right there on the spot. And the month before that, my professor, Daniel Tavares, he moved from Brazil. So when I started jiu-jitsu, he moved from Brazil. So we both started our journeys together, and then right away I knew he was a special person. He didn't know any English, and he had a little dictionary, but then he started picking up so many words so quick, like you said, the kids, but it was a grown man, learning a language so fast. And I said, man, this guy, not only is he a special being, but also he's using his martial arts experience to perhaps learn this new language. He's like arm, you know what I mean? And he just repeat until now he's this, successful, world champion businessman. But I saw him in the very beginning, and my loyalty to him has never changed. I still train with my professor 3 days a week. I feel like that is something that has helped me a lot.
Sure.
He's pushed me all these years and on and off the mats, and my image and how I am as a man and how I handle myself with my students, so many lessons I'm still learning 3 days a week, where I think it would be harder for me.
It's not just about jiu-jitsu, no. It's about everything, life. Be around people like that.
Yeah.
Make you learn about everything.
Right.
It's
Any
great.
kind of issue I may have, I come to him, and not to say I couldn't do it without him, but with him I don't know if I could do
He's
it.
a mentor for you.
Right. I'm saying other guys may be able to just, leave their professor and do their own thing. But for me, it has given me such a big foundation. I think of something, I study, and then I go to him, boom, put the icing on the cake, So he's always provided a lot of mentorship and leadership for me. And eventually when I was a brown belt, he encouraged me to start teaching class, out of nowhere. And I enjoyed it, and I never really thought much of it. But I liked being in the spotlight and, trying to figure out how to teach somebody. You can't just teach them one move. You have to sequence, or it has to make sense, and that challenge interested me. Then I found a job as a black belt in this CrossFit Krav Maga type place, where they just wanted to throw some jiu-jitsu into the mix, and it was good, but I felt limited. Of course, it was no Monday class, no
The hours.
the hours. I was just trying to build a program with little bits and pieces, and I got to a point where I needed to open up my own gym. I chose the neighborhood Fishtown in Philadelphia. I'm still not yet living in Philadelphia, but I really liked this neighborhood because it was a good balance of up and coming, area, business professionals, pretty safe. So I chose this neighborhood and found a 500 square foot gym, like a room, basically. You know how people start with a little room. And then we padded it all up with mats, and then just started to go hard. And we outgrew it very quickly, but then COVID hit, so we had to just shut the doors. It was the dark days. I don't know how you guys trained during COVID. I mean, you don't have to say it on live, but we closed the door. We taped up all the windows. You know what I mean?
People get for the back of the
yeah. 6 a.m. You know what I mean? So no music, no lights. At first, I started doing 5 days a week, 6 a.m. So I said, I gotta get it in, And then no one's keeping up this 5 days a week, 6 a.m. I said, okay, let's go to 4 days, 6 a.m. Funny story about my professor, because he really invested a lot into his Zoom classes. You know what I mean? He has a family, so during COVID, he kind of was careful, And he had a lot of people doing his Zoom classes. But he really wanted to train, and then he didn't train for 2 months, maybe, And then we said, man, come to the 6 a.m. class. I said, just come, like it's only like a small group. It's more or less same people. And he comes in, and then it's 6 a.m. and I'm like, oh yeah, what? Because we've been training, So I'm like, you want to drill this thing we've been drilling? And he's just like, nah, you know what I mean? Like it's just.
I just want to roll right now,
He
guys.
just-
Let's
he-
go.
oh,
I miss that.
That hour, man, he beat our. He was throwing us all over them because he's so much.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
He hold that like so long.
So it was nuts, So when COVID ended, we were reopened, and then finally we're able to get a bigger building. It got so small.
I think we've kind of followed your transition a little bit.
Yep.
Spot to spot.
Yes, you did. So it was a big leap for us, but it was inevitable, because the parents all were like trying to watch class, and there was nowhere to sit, and we were bursting at the seams, and then we were able to get into a much bigger space where we are at now, and have a big size mat. And I quit my job, and the snowball effect,
Good job, man.
Positive
way,
snowball.
yeah.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was always my
Congrats,
dream.
man.
It
Congrats.
was always my dream, like I told Max, and then a couple of years ago I was able to make happen. So now my dream is to help other people do the same thing and kind of share, continue.
You're doing it.
You are a jiu-jitsu missionary too.
Yes, sir. Yes,
That's
sir.
what
Hey,
we
what-
are. We talk about this all the time. We are jiu-jitsu missionary, man.
And every time you guys say that, it really hits home with me because I keep finding myself in these situations where like I need to stretch to share the gift. You know what I mean? Like whether it be like scholarshiping a kid who can't afford it or something like that, or like here's like a used gi. You know what I mean? I keep seeing how I am trying.
A talk with someone that needs a talk.
Yes, like
Listen, somebody need to.
Right, exactly. Like I'm seeing all these examples of how this is not just a job. You know what I mean? It's not just punching the clock. You know what I mean? There's so many more
Way
variables.
beyond, right?
There's so many more humans are benefiting from you. You know what I
That's
mean?
true.
So now you're in this position. It's like,
Too many life you can hit, man.
yeah,
And you only know when you're on that spot, like
mm-hmm.
I really feel that because we talk about this all the time. Only people that are on the spot can take it and understand it, like you are.
yeah.
So you're like, no,
Because it's a difficult spot. People are listening to your every word. You cannot make the wrong move. There's so many things. There's so much pressure. Especially when you run a business like Max just opened a business. I'm sure there's
man.
so many things you have to do and
So many things you need to take care that for you I don't even know before. I think just like open the door, put the mat, start jiu-jitsu. Like,
Oh, they're like, oh,
definitely not.
you have this license or do
Yeah.
you have this software? I mean, it looks like you have JP or it looks like you guys have a team. But sometimes you're just like, what's the next move? You know what I mean? What do I gotta do next?
But that about the school, this guy helped me a lot too.
Yeah.
He opened the school 3 years before than me, and like every move I will do sometimes, like I think that's the right way, but let me ask someone and I go asking him. You know what I mean? It helped a lot to
Just like
figure it out.
some like sometimes like I tell Max, I don't know that. And let me tell the things that I mess it up. Most of the times, like Max, I mess it up here.
Yeah.
Just let you know that's what I mess it up. Maybe don't make the same mistake.
Oh,
Mistaken another way.
Yeah, like hey, I made this mistake. Just telling you, this was a mistake for me. See if it's something you want to try to do.
'Cause
Like,
mistakes hurt.
yeah,
So
some mistakes might hurt.
I'd rather learn from somebody
But
else.
sometimes my mistake can be a success of someone too, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like, hey, I did this way, and hey, this thing didn't work well for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's an advice.
And
Like,
we close it a lot. I ask him, but sometimes I ask him, I'm like, nah, fuck, I'm not gonna do it that way.
yeah, it's like it is.
That's funny, but like,
But on the worst day, of living the jiu-jitsu lifestyle is better than the best day of working.
It
in,
is.
Oh, for sure,
working
man.
at-
Or work with something that you don't love.
Yeah.
Something you don't love, I should say that, because
Yeah.
plenty of people have a career where they love and
They
they're
love
doing exactly what they want. But if you're stuck in a job,
That you don't like.
yeah, like the worst day in running your business is
True.
still the best.
it's still the best.
Still
That's
wake
true.
up as your own boss.
I tell people all the time, hey, chasing money, chasing this. No, do what you love.
Yeah.
I really believe it. Do what you love.
Free time.
And you go figure it out.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you're gonna outwork anybody doing something that you love,
Yeah.
and you're gonna be successful. That there's a higher chance of succeeding with something. Jiu-jitsu.
Mm-hmm.
When I started jiu-jitsu, I was like,
It's impossible to make money
Crazy,
to
no
live
way.
with that.
Right, but we all know that's not the case.
you know, like it was like, man, do what you love. I tell the teenagers.
We know now, man, like where I start for real.
Yeah, when
most of my professors has like 2 jobs.
Uh,
You know what I mean? He has his normal job and teach jiu-jitsu after, after, no. And then like, I start to believe it's possible when Rodolfo start to make money, you know, and be successful, be only athletic, be only fighter, you know what I mean?
that's the
I'm
guy
like,
that you saw. who
Yeah,
was,
Rodolfo, because that's the close one. We know, like, it's hard sometimes when you're like, this guy do, but you never see him here.
Sure.
Rodolfo is close to me.
On
We
your
train,
team, yeah.
my teammates, we
Yeah.
train together.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I'm like, okay, it's possible. And after this, you start, like, the team grow, and then we start send professors from outside the country. You
Yeah.
know, people coming to USA, people coming to go to
Europe.
China, Europe.
I miss
I'm
seeing
like,
him
okay,
compete.
it's possible, you know what I mean? But before I'm like blue belt, man, I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I need to try make it happen. You know, before my purple belt, sorry, you know, but like, people think
I mean-
It's easier to see now, you know, like it's still hard, but it's easy, you know, like doing
possible.
something that you love. You like people, you're gonna go home after hours, and then you're gonna work more because you
Yeah.
love it. It's like a hobby.
I think kids class is probably the best example because you could have a kids class that's boring. You know what I mean? If your heart's not into it, you would come in and then you would teach them some moves, right? Like all right, like fight and then go home. But if your heart is into it, now you're creating games, you're creating
Yes.
activities. How can I
Engaging
teach
kids.
this kid to pass guard? How can I teach him to attach grips? And that adds a lot of value because now your class is high action packed, right? The parents see that, the parents bring other parents in.
And like how am I helping to develop this kid to the world? I think about this
Yeah.
all the time. I step on the mat, am I giving my part and helping my students, every single student, to develop themselves to become a better adult for the world? I think
Yeah.
about this all the time.
That's something that I feel like I should focus more. Sometimes I get so lost in the movements, the behavior, right? I'm so like, okay, like well, I mean, character development too, whereas like I want them to be nice to each other and to not be a sore loser and stuff like that. But I feel like what you just said is the most important, is like giving this person a better life, you know what I mean? Like teaching them how to be, like sometimes I forget that, you know, I'm to get
We
too
do
caught up in the
too, yeah,
discipline.
yeah.
Discipline moves, but at the core of it, there's a service that you're providing. Yeah.
Well, like I think we all get lost some days. Like some days your mind is like. Some days are different. Sometimes the kids they eat sugar,
Yes.
and they become hyper. Like
like,
Or the other way, or the other way.
the other way, they
Yeah.
comes. You know, they just
they
came
so
from a nap.
sleeping, yeah.
Yeah.
It kind of like varies, but like I try to push myself to always remember like it's like they're kids,
Right.
and I want to teach him. I want to help teach him about confidence. I want to teach
Yeah.
him about being humble,
Yes.
about overcoming the challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Be afraid of something, but you're still going for it.
Right.
You know, like
in a year, will he be further along in life than he is today? You know, that's what I think.
it's
I'm glad we're having this conversation because sometimes I need to remind myself that even if he doesn't go home learning how to finish that exact armbar, that's not
it's not the big.
that's
main,
not why he's, you know what I mean? You get too caught up in the technical aspects.
Even
of
for the adults, even for the adults.
Even for
Sometimes
the
they just
adults.
wanna come to talk,
Yeah.
hang out with their friends. You know. It's like-
Right.
Be
I
part.
used to push my class like I used to be like, hey, Drew. It's like and then
Right.
it's
Achieve
like,
results.
You achieve results. Yeah, like everybody needs to win. It's like
Yeah.
maybe not.
Right.
Maybe not.
What-
I want them to win. Do really they want to win?
Right.
Do they really they want this go like and start to understand like
Mm.
Then
what they need, what they were looking for, not what I'm looking for them.
The social
You know?
social aspect is so huge, you see it right away. Like when COVID reopened, how people were like they wouldn't even leave the gym.
Yeah.
They
That's
couldn't get
true.
enough of that human interaction.
Exactly.
And that's when you're like, oh, that's why we're here, to provide that type of service.
We talk about this with Amanda too. I feel like the community is so grateful. It's like one of the best things jiu-jitsu give. It's like that community, be part of something.
Oh,
a lot
yeah.
of people don't have that. A lot of people work from home here, like don't meet nobody all day.
That's
And
yeah.
if he don't be part about any community, maybe he'd be like some weeks without talk with somebody. Then I mean,
Yeah.
without this,
we're
share
call-
the friends or whatever, but like have that contact, touch somebody,
Yeah.
hug somebody or whatever. They don't have.
We're
and
calling
jiu-jitsu
that-
give this.
We're calling it like break the routine. Like in our like marketing approach, we're showing people like a story of our student, on our website. If you go and check it out, like it shows his life before, working from home, drinking coffee, going to sleep, brushing your teeth.
The
It's
rat habit.
yeah, and
The
it's
rat,
it's not a bad life because you're successful and you have a family and you're doing things, but you're not.
Sorry, it's not
growing.
bad life.
You're going on the flow. You're going on the flow. You're
On
not
paper,
chasing it.
on paper, it looks good, but and there's no growth.
Yeah.
There's no challenge, and that's kind of like what we're trying to maybe sell or promote.
Promote.
Yeah, promote. Like here's something that you can energize, inspire yourself with.
What is the website they should look at?
SASPhiladelphiaBJJ.com. That's our website.
Go there and go meet the
SAS
Hustão.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
SAS
BJJ.
Philadelphia BJJ.com.
Go and check it out after.
Not
this
only
episode.
not only can they watch the video, but they can register for their first class. Hey,
That's awesome. Yeah. And if somebody's
For
around
free first classes,
Philadelphia,
free though.
first class, of course,
Free
of
first
course.
class.
if somebody's around Philadelphia, right, they
Yeah.
can come and visit you as well, right? The
Yeah,
crip-
yeah, we
people
have a lot of
probably,
visitors that come. We're very friendly and welcoming. We're not looking at visitors as
Like
Test.
like a food.
a test. Yeah, no, I've really tried to create a culture where people are focused on development, camaraderie, not like I don't know,
Fight Club.
not Fight Club, not like like they come and they when they want to push each other, and I don't hear nobody cursing after a tap, you know what I mean, smacking the floor or like coming in challenging each other. They joke all the time and they laugh, but they're not. I set the standard right away that I don't want this to be like a I don't want it to be a place where people may have a bad day and they feel like the guy didn't just tap him out, but he gave a little extra. Like what's the extra for? You know what I mean? Just tap him out. Let's go do it again.
Yeah.
True. This is the beauty of jiu-jitsu. You can
Yeah.
you can literally stop the knockout as close as it could be.
Yeah.
And you have the power to stop, tap out without injuries and getting
Right.
hurt.
Like I'll get a guy that comes from a different gym and he's a white belt and he's like you start rolling with him, it feels like a taekwondo match. I have to be like, whoa, like he's like that's just the way, that's the only one I know. But I'm like, well, you can't see the things that I'm doing, you know what I mean? And he's like, and then the guys are gonna have to smash you because they have no other choice. You're going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
We had a few of these conversations. Same guy yesterday surprised me by a ton. He was a perfect training partner. I was doing a triple, you know what I mean? I'm all sore, banged up. I'm like, okay, let's go. And then all of a sudden he's like a perfect training partner, and then it happened almost overnight
The
because
mindset.
Yeah.
He just click.
he had to watch like two black belts roll to see what it's supposed to look like. You know what I mean? I have this black belt woman that cross trains with me, and she goes to another. She's from another gym, but she cross trains with us. And
What's her name?
Brittany, she's actually the first African American black belt woman in Pennsylvania.
Nice.
She just got promoted, so shout out to
Oh,
Brittany.
Shout out Brittany.
And she's
We
gonna have,
want to
We want to
hear.
hear.
yeah, no,
And Brittany,
yeah.
if you're not competing PBJJF, you
You're
have
missing
She's
out.
about to have her
Yes,
second
now.
kid. She's about to have her second kid, and she was training up until like last week with with carrying the baby, and then
Hey,
when she
that
comes
woman's
back.
going crazy. Oh my god.
Hey,
How they
October
can do
21st,
this?
she'll be ready.
How they can do this, man? Oh my god.
well, it did get to a point where I had to watch who's she gonna roll with, probably just me or maybe someone else. But
Yeah,
so
Jay-
what,
JP has a student too, Laura. She just delivered a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
She training into the
Last
week
week.
before.
Yeah.
For real, week before delivery.
roll
on,
too.
on, no, on her own way.
on
Roll,
her
I
way,
went
yeah.
with her, train, and some
Right,
people
right,
that
right,
I
right.
trust. Like
It's our job.
Content.
We-
That's
either that or nothing. Yeah.
It's awesome to see. Like
It's beautiful
she's
to
on
see
the
for
mat
real.
and
Right.
doing that stuff. Like that's crazy.
But I can't, man. Try put somebody on your belly to your chair.
I cannot,
Like, that's
I
hard,
cannot
man.
imagine. And then, and the energy levels, you could tell. Some weeks she'd come in and she'd be more tired, and other weeks she'd be like, "All right, I'm doing good today," but still going hard. I'm like, listen, yeah,
Hey, be
Take your
careful.
time. Take your time.
exactly. But they
But
got
that's why you need to pick who she will train. You,
Yeah.
the other people you trust and her trust.
But it's just cool to see, people training like that, and her professor also accommodated the training, and then he surprised her with a promotion. It was cool. Like our gyms are friendly, so we came over like a big cross train session. Boom, she got promoted.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Cool.
my wife lifted into the week before she delivered, but she trained when she like 6 months, the belly started to get too big. I'm like, I think it's dangerous. Stop. Don't. Like, don't
Dick-
train,
well, yeah.
please. I was so scared.
Of course.
It's our first baby, That's I don't know. I'm just scared.
Hey, changing
And
the-
she white belt is different. You would
Yeah.
talk about like a black belt and a brown belt.
different.
It's way different.
Do you guys know one thing about this? It happens.
What, the fortune?
It happens, but only if you eat it.
Eat it. You gotta eat it. Of course. I mean, that's.
It needs to be the first one you pick. You touch that one
And done. That's all.
I'd work at the place that writes them. You know what I mean? I'd be like, listen,
For real.
today is
Did you
your
work?
day. No, but I would. Today
you
is
would.
your day.
Go train jiu-jitsu.
No one can stop you today. The guy opened it
I
up.
like- It's my day. Let's go.
Go quit that job now. No, I'm just kidding. The cookie told me to do it.
Sorry, guys.
I'm sorry.
Let's see if it happens. A distant relative will phone you today.
Okay.
That's what it's saying. Somebody's going to call me, I guess, right?
It's a big good chance in your
Yeah.
position someone's gonna call you and say, "Hey JP, I got this opportunity."
That's
Or message you. I don't know. It can be a lot of things.
What about yours? I think they want to say call, I guess.
I don't know what that word say. What that word mean.
Answer just what your heart prompts you.
What's prompts?
Like tells you.
Tells you, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
From the heart.
All right.
From the heart. Believe. More,
gotta go-
more here than here.
Yeah. Now you gotta eat the
That-
you gotta
that-
eat the paper too. Then it'll come true.
But that's myself most of the time. That's why I do a lot of mistakes. Get the heart first. Then.
Yeah. The heart goes first, of a warrior, right?
That's true.
I've been before Brave, I was definitely always watching your career and then watching you chase some of the elite level titles. It's really cool to watch. It's a very small club of guys who can compete at that level. With the big guys and the but it's,
Big fellas.
but listen, it takes a lifetime of work to get
Yeah.
there. So And then now for you to still maintain that level while pursuing other endeavors, that's very tough. And opening your own gym.
It's hard, man. It's hard. But when you love, man, we make it happen, you know? And like this keep you wake up, you make you like keep it pushing, you know?
But you're not doing it for money though, because when you're doing things for money, you push, but
it's definitely it's love, heart.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Everything we do here is about the love of jiu-jitsu.
Like you're at the tournament, you know what I mean? You're not just trying to no, you want to be there. You want to see what it's like. You want to see your baby grow.
Building the vision, like
develop.
And this, we talk about to everybody. This is about the community. This is about legacy.
Yeah.
We might not be here running it, but we need the vision to be sharp, the laser to achieve where we want to achieve with PBJJF.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that's the most important. Like we want to live this for the community. PBJJF, it's going to. We want PBJJF to stay for the community.
Even if you're not here.
And
if we die one day, somebody need to keep moving this on. You know?
The community needs it. You know what I mean?
There's still, and then people will still be doing PBJJF.
People be still.
I love the unified thing. Like I like consistency. You know what I mean? You see a local tournament guy out there with no shirt on, doing no gi. You know what I mean? It's like 9-year-old kids, no shirt.
And then
nothing wrong with no shirt on, but like that's not. It doesn't look good in a tournament.
And then they bring their grandparents to watch. And the people, some tournaments allowing people to crack their heads off the mat. It's like, hold on. What, is this a street fight or a competition? Why do you have a mat area that you don't respect?
Right.
Why do you have don't have it? Open the whole room and let people, go at each other. But like we should have rules that. And the rules are to protect the athletes.
Yeah, rules like the submissions for tiny kids. You know what I mean? Sometimes like that could get out of control. Like 4-year-olds like cranking each other. So
we care a lot about this, man. Protect your kids.
The students, the athletes. And that's the way we believe we can grow jiu-jitsu.
It also feels like you're not the type of company that scrambles the night before to find referees. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, I need 2 more referees, but then it's like, well, like who are these guys gonna be, or girls? Sometimes you get some quality. We've had some referees, and it's just like you don't want to be there. You know what I mean? And it's like okay.
We look for our tournaments. We train brown and black belts,
right,
to become our referees. And we have our course where we're creating. We have a course for our staff, but we're creating one for the public. Where we can educate the schools around. Sometimes if you go to Pittsburgh, maybe the schools are not educated about the way we run the tournaments, the way our rule set is.
Our rule set.
We're gonna bring a meeting course that we can educate the professors, so when they come in, they know what the rule set is.
Even the fighters know. I feel like the fighters should know about the rules. For me, I win a lot of matches by know the rules. You understand?
Sure.
That's make a lot of difference.
Sure. Whether you go out of bounds, whether you stay in, or stuff like that, right?
Make a lot of difference.
If this technique is allowed
or not.
Yeah.
Like somebody do a movement illegal, it's illegal, or you not gonna do. It's like everybody should be like with the rules accessible and like know where's the rules coming. Like coach heifers, for sure heifers. But
how do you play basketball without knowing the rules?
Right. And the standard too, like the weigh-in with the gi. You know what I mean? Like there needs to be
podium with the gi,
like everything it needs to be like you need to prepare for this thing, like not just like, oh hey man, I'm gonna do a tournament like, next week, and then you throw this guy in there, he don't know what he's doing, he shows up and he's like, you got like his gi's ripped or something, like you need to act like a professional, you need to conduct yourself, you need to make the weight, you need to do all these different things, it's gonna prepare you for the next level. If you're a white belt and you have to make weight in the gi, you're gonna understand like, okay, this is what I have to do.
That's the way to do.
That's what I have to do from now on. I have to make sure my nails are trimmed. I'm not going out there no shirt on
and this keeps the fairness.
Yeah.
Because if you have a gi that's this short,
right,
and the other guy has a gi that's this way, the guy with the correct key will be in disadvantage.
A big disadvantage.
So we gotta keep it, uh, not allowing this to happen, so we can
Yeah.
have a fair match.
For sure.
So, and this sometimes, oh, just no. Like if it was with you, if you're in disadvantage, would you do it?
Right. I'm
You
over here
know?
looking for
Yeah, for
grip.
If,
grips,
like,
then
now
you
you're in
can.
advantage. What if you were in disadvantage? You
For
know,
sure,
like
for
we try to really look for the professionalism. You know, building a professional environment where people can really feel like, hey, this is the way to go.
Yeah, the venue choice was good too. The AFC Sports Center, or I think that's what the AFC. Yeah, some of my students were like, "Man, this is a nice gym.
Nice
Like, I
venue,
might come back to this and play racquetball."
Yeah, yeah.
True, nice venue.
The next one will be in a semi-venue. or
Yeah, they
semi-venue?
jump in the
Good.
hot tub.
Yeah.
I walk in the changing room, and then the two of my students are.
Oh no, what the no way. That's fun. That's fun.
They're like, "Oh, it's right here," you know.
Yeah.
And the
That's
gym, I
cool.
don't feel like the gym people cared. You know,
No,
'cause
definitely no.
The jiu-jitsu community is nice. It's
Yeah,
respectful.
and like
True.
the guys there like
It comes
a lot.
from the professors.
Yeah.
Like you educate your student how to kind of behave like around
Conduct
jiu-jitsu
yourself.
and conduct yourself.
That's a big thing. I feel like the trash talk, and I saw in your message to me about this today. It was like some of the things that you may would like to see in the future, like from the like the new generation. You know, I feel like sometimes there's too much emphasis on like building up a following. You know what I mean? Like or promoting yourself. You know what I mean? Like I've had in the last year, I've had 2 instances where I was coaching a match of my student and the other competitor said something to me. You know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter what, but that would have never happened like 5 years ago or 10 years ago.
No.
You know what I mean? It never would have happened.
Never.
You fight your match and that's
Stay
it.
focused, yeah.
Right. But this day and age, there's so much emphasis on building a following, being like the villain.
That's like some bad examples we have down there, man.
Very bad examples, and the kids look up to that. You know what I mean? How can they not? They have phones. They know who's the best.
And
They
that
know,
brings attention.
they know who
It's
wins.
easier to bring
The drama
attention
bring
that way.
attention.
Right.
We're against it. We're like that's the
Right.
bottom line.
Like
This
I don't
is
know how
not
to
we
deal with
want.
that. If I had a kid and he was, like of course I know how to deal with that, but like how do you explain to somebody, like what to post and what not to post, and like I haven't run into that yet. Someone on social media who's going like
Crazy.
I know I can be like, oh man, it's
Yeah.
not how you represent my gym, and I've had it.
That's right.
You have to.
Represent you.
Yeah.
Represent
If
you.
someone comes from your school and come to me, I'm seeing you on them.
Right.
I'm not seeing
exactly.
them. It's like,
Exactly.
If my student go to your school, it's like,
Right.
oh,
There's
how
a JP
You
student.
know what I mean? It's how JP does. And I want my students to be, I tell them, you guys going to be the most, you're going to be extra polite whenever you go. You're going to tie your gi, face to the wall. You're going to bow. You're going to shake everybody's hand and you get on
Right.
the mat. Like, people are going to call you out for being more respectful than usually, but not from just taking a shirt off of the mat and changing like it's on the positive way, not the negative way. Like I think about this every single time. And talking like I think is our part to educate our student, and that comes from the professor. Unfortunately, that comes from the professor. The professor leads the
Especially now with the social media. Like I think I look back on the things we used to focus on the most, like even like 10 years ago, before like the huge Instagram explosion, like the training, the like our friends on the team, you know what I mean, competitions, these are the things that really mattered, like testing yourself, you know what I mean, like why am I gonna do 10 showcase events if I can do one tournament and fight 10 guys, you know what I mean, and then see who's the champion that day. That's another thing, like people don't want to do tournaments because they don't want to pay to compete, but like but you're not a you know what I mean,
Superstar yet,
yourself,
man.
yeah.
You
That's
gotta
prob-
build these up.
yeah, that's
and what we're trying to do is building those athletes. Like, hey,
Right.
come here. We want to build you up. We want to
Right.
we're gonna see who's winning. Hey, we
Right.
can build you up.
nothing against showcase events, the super fights, you know what I mean.
I think they're important too.
Sure,
Because-
But you
people-
gotta work together.
You gotta fight the tournament. The
Yeah.
tournament is such a beautiful thing, you know what I mean? Okay, you beat the first guy or girl. Okay, well, what the second one? They got a monster sweep that you're not ready for. Boom, you got through that challenge. You got the third person. third person has closed guard from hell. You know what I mean? And like,
right.
that is the beauty
You
of
get
the
levels, like, and then you
Right.
compete at Philadelphia Open. Cool.
Right.
Now you're going to compete at Pans.
Sure.
You got a
And then
different.
after Pans, compete at Worlds, which
Right.
people from all over the world, different from all over
Now you
different
got
areas.
10, 15 matches under your belt instead of 3 showcase events
Yeah.
from a
have
local, from one local person.
way more experience. Way more
The
experience.
showcase events are now for white belts. It's like it's not a super fight. Super fight is like Max versus some other guy. That's a super fight. But so I think that's something that people should they should challenge themselves more. You know, I saw somebody white belt say from a different gym, I don't want to do tournaments. My sweeps aren't good. I want to do submission only showcase events. I said, oh man,
White belt.
no, and only no gi. You know what I mean? And
Oh,
but like,
boy.
what do you say to that?
His professor was telling him that.
But
Or
the whole
his
gym,
group.
the whole gym's pretty much no gi though. That's another thing, you know what I
I
mean?
feel like sometimes you need to, people don't know his place on the world.
Yeah.
Like a white belt, man, focusing on other things.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like focus on like showcase that you're not gonna. Nobody wanna pay to watch you fight yet. You know what I mean? Nobody wanna go there to watch you fight. You need to.
First match of their life is a showcase event, but that's just the way it is, you know. And then it's an age of consumerism. They are students; they're paying you for a service, so not to tell them how to live their life. But as far as challenging themselves, there's different ways to do it, right?
Yeah.
About jiu-jitsu, I tell my students, hey, I believe you should go this way.
Yeah.
I
Go
try
that
to,
direction.
yeah.
Same thing here, yeah. And like the no gi, you know, of course, like you see it more happening in some of the social media again, right? Like you have
Hey, I think
rise of
that's
that.
more social media
Right.
than it's all marketing.
my professor has always says that the gi is much easier to sell, you know, like as a recruit, like a student, you know, like, and it's true, like time somebody comes in off the street, like I don't make no gi classes available for them, you know what I mean? I don't, because we're in there, we're like doing little windshield wiper, you know what I mean? That's not necessarily
The way
what they
they're
should
gonna
learn the very first class. They
Exactly.
need to put the gi on, learn how to grab the attach, maybe put the foot on the hip. You know, these are the things that you can baby step somebody through.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you throw somebody into no gi class, it's gonna be a whole different experience.
You're
you
gonna
know?
build a lot of bad
and
habits.
the risk of injuries,
Yeah.
like, do you really want to risk this? And I think about injuries, like, hey, do you really? It's not about losing a student or whatever. It's their life. How can this injury hurts their life? And I'm
Yeah.
not here. I'm here to help people
Mm-hmm.
to use jiu-jitsu to as a way to improve their lives in a positive, in
Yeah.
a positive way.
And I love no gi. I just feel like it needs to coexist. You see a lot of
It was like that before this hype up.
Right.
Like people were doing still gi and no gi competing.
right.
But
I
it got kind of like
In today's schools, like I remember, like when I come to SA, like 2018, normally no-gi class like 2 times a week.
Right.
You know, like normally schools. Now we get classes every day. You know what I mean? Like my school has no-gi every day.
and that's
I
totally
have like
cool.
kind of 60-40. 60% of my schedule is maybe 70. It's like gi,
Right, me too.
and the rest is no gi. But I still have
But
classes.
for somebody who's new to the sport to take it off and never put it on again just because they feel comfortable. Man, we used to train in these old
do
gis,
both, man.
the potato sack gladiator,
Yeah.
like it was hell. Like the gis we wore weren't even, like
I have only one gi for like almost 2 years. So
Yeah.
to compete, to
That's
train 3 times a day, that's like crazy.
yeah, it's very uncomfortable, but
Yeah.
that's life in general
Yeah.
right there, you know what I mean? But it's a lot less skin to skin contact.
I think it's more media, to be honest. And if you don't train in gi, you're not training jiu-jitsu.
No, and then they want to be promoted without the gi, and it's like, well. I told the
It's
guy
important. I
straight
think
up.
it's important to do both, but jiu-jitsu, you need it.
Yeah. And-
Otherwise, you're doing grappling.
right.
Don't do jiu-jitsu, you're doing grappling. If you
Right.
don't put the gi, in my point of view, you're doing grappling.
And I love it, man. I just feel so much I just feel comfortable in the gi. You know what I mean?
Me
Like I
too.
can't imagine like
Same.
every day doing just no gi and that's it. You know, they just putting it in the closet.
One guy I would like to talk to one day, bring here, maybe Eddie Bravo.
Yeah, I mean he's an interesting
You know,
guy.
he's interested. Like I want to know because he talks about, he talks about developing jiu-jitsu for MMA, right? But they wear pants.
Yeah, he does wear pants.
I don't know why.
That's a question. I don't
It's
know the
probably
answer.
more comfortable. It's probably more comfortable. Yeah.
But with
Maybe
MMA,
it
you
has
don't wear
more
pants.
tract, like
More traction, more
traction,
traction, more
traction.
But in MMA, you don't wear pants.
No. And the system is very interesting. Like from a technical standpoint, it does break the posture. So if you were getting punched in an MMA fight, you would protect you.
Correct.
But you're putting your knee in such a dangerous position. You know what I mean? Like I think of all my students, and I think of what if I had to teach them all rubber guard? You know, tomorrow. You know, how many dudes would or women would be able to bring
It's kind
their
of like a style, right? Like
Yeah.
it feels like you have to be. I don't know. If you're not flexible, that game is not for you.
right? So you got to get a gym full of flexible knee people.
Yeah,
And
hey,
My knee would break.
I can't do it.
My
I can't.
knee, like-
I grab my knee, I pop my own knee if I do that. All right, so
Same.
I could do omoplata. Anything more than that?
But
you know?
like one thing we're learning is like about like let's ask and see why. You know, sometimes we don't
Yeah.
know the why behind things. Would be interesting to like.
I think it's a yeah,
You know, like ask those questions that I have questions
for sure.
about.
I definitely would like to know a lot about him more. You know, like why like not continue to compete. You know, after like the Hoyler thing. You know, which was awesome, but then like there was nothing that came after that. You know what I mean? And it would have been cool to see him showcase his own system because that's usually how people do it, right? Like here's my system. I'm gonna show everybody how it
look
works.
what Tainan doing now. Man.
Right, Tan, exactly.
Hey, he go for the tournament
Oh
to
my
do
God.
the movies.
Right.
Film.
And then as soon as he come
When
off,
you pay attention, when you real watch his matches,
yeah.
he do that. He drop off like, all right, X guard system. He
Oh
won the
my-
tournament, try do X guard and everyone, and he do one.
I know.
I think Gordon was doing something like that too, right?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Gordon do that too. And he like,
But
all
the
right,
difference is
look this arm bar here.
But look,
So
they-
nice.
they-
They
hey,
tap
look-
3 people on this arm bar now
But-
by my course.
But hey,
So good, man. That's
Hey,
like mad.
but look at the difference.
Yeah.
Gordon has a very disrespectful way of doing it. Tyna just, man, oh, cool man, good job, man.
He's a nice kid.
You didn't see him
Yeah.
talking anything,
it's
like man,
unbelievable.
just showing his work.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I released this DVD, whatever. I don't have
He
to
don't.
like,
He don't disrespect
Speak,
nobody.
speak
no.
with action. Here's me destroying everybody with my move. Here you can buy it, and you can. I like their platform. It's a good platform that helps the athletes, and I kind of look at it to to see how they bring up the athletes through the system and have the athletes working at the gym.
That's right.
Like how to do that correctly. You know
And
what I mean?
one thing I use he like example. A lot of these guys don't wanna teach.
Yes.
When they start, they like, my purple belt, brown belt, or whatever, like support me or whatever, asking for a sponsor, but they don't wanna work. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Man, Tainan still teach classes.
Oh, 6
at the
a.m.
OJ.
6 a.m. That's his class, right? 100,
You know?
100 people, 6 a.m.
And probably he don't need anymore, okay?
Right.
But he did into 2 here.
Of course.
Maybe he could go stop at one point, but like he building his career, working too. You know.
Oh yeah.
He got up sponsorships or whatever too. But like if he don't have the sponsorship, he was still able to do the things he did because he works to pay to his travels.
Right.
He works to pay for his registrations. Do you understand?
Tannen.
Tainan,
AOJ.
we want to hear.
They also get people involved at a young age in the gym, which I've started to try to do because like I want to, I see kids come in, get their gray belt, win some tournaments, and then just kind of like, okay,
on.
what else is there? I go and go play basketball, So I started to try to get them to teach the younger kids, you know what I mean? Like try to give them a little job, try to show them more, you know what I mean? Why are you gonna go? You know what I mean? And then you're gonna play this sport, then you're gonna come play this sport. I wanna. So that's when I see their system bringing kids up from the system into the gym. I think that's
Pretty interesting.
there's a lot of value
It would
to
be
it.
great to bring the Mendes brothers here.
My God, it's a dream.
Of course.
Be
It'll be
awesome.
good to,
I'm a huge
You gotta
fan,
you gotta
yeah.
book them.
Yeah.
And like I won 2018, first year I get here in USA to the state. I always back and forth since 2012, and I visited OJ, me and Gutenberg. That Tainan is a blue belt.
Okay.
On that time, we trained. He's a killer already, tough kid, But man, super respectful, I'm
Yeah.
a black belt already. That's my first year, black belt. Acho que a câmera desligou, tipo. He's a super respectful. We did like couple rounds, but he like
Oh, you roll with him, nice.
yeah, rode to him, rode
We-
to
we
like
visit-
Jonathan too.
We visited that gym on like a few months ago. It was good. Jonathan taught class.
Nice.
It was really fun to watch. One thing I noticed that man, like again, the kids, it didn't even sound like a kids class. They were just like doing the drills. I was like, man, I'm over here.
What time of day you gonna play dodgeball?
The dodgeball never happened.
I'm wait, go.
They just kept
You outside like wait for the dodgeball time.
they just kept hammering each other. Yeah, but it was an interesting gym to visit just to see the dynamic and kind of roll with the students.
But I feel it's hard to
Replicate.
and everywhere. Do you understand?
And I don't know if I would want to. I kind of like to I kind of like the more playful aspect that sometimes that my gym has. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like an average guy may not feel like he has to be a champion. To because like you're around the champions, you feel like you got to be a
You have
champion.
to.
So
No,
I,
hey, that class I get that is not the competition class.
yeah.
I get in a normal class and I'm tired. I'm a pro fighter, black belt, away, fighting with the top guys, and I'm like, guys, you guys go super serious here. You know what I mean? Like normal class.
Yeah.
Like I told you, I trained with the blue belts, like Tainan's dad, Jonathan, I think, is purple belts on that time already. Yeah.
And I think
Compelling guys.
packing the schedule too, you know what I mean? Like having that 4 or 5 classes a day or more classes a day, instead of trying to throw MMA and kickboxing and all these different things, just focus on one thing, and then guess what? You're gonna have a good result because you're spending all day, and then like you said earlier before we talked about you have a time available for each person, so these have been my focus, like in the fall we have to add another kids class. I have 2 now, little and big, but now there's too many big, so now I need to split the big, so I have to add another class, which is a good problem to have.
Good, yeah.
But I'm trying to see other kids programs, and perhaps I can bounce some ideas off of you guys
Yeah.
just to see what's worked for you. And
I'm just a start, but these guy got a.
I have a lot of.
He got
I have a good
lot
group
of
of kids.
He got, like,
I have 4 programs
four-
for
four
kids.
programs.
yeah. And do you what age do you start?
I start at 5.
5,
But
okay.
beginning, I used to start at 3. I have a 3 to 5, but
3 is so tough. We do 4, but
yeah,
3
depends on
Depends
the
if
kid.
4 is too hard.
4 is depends on the kid.
right.
Usually girls are more prepared. At
Or like
4.
focus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boys are more like they can really. In my experience, of
Sometimes
course,
boys even on 30s like yours.
they keep going like, "Hey, sit down. Time to sit." It's like, all right, I think you got. Unfortunately, I don't think you're ready for that. And unfortunately, we have to tell the parents,
Yeah.
"Hey, come back 6 months from now."
That
Let's
makes a
try
big
it.
difference.
Let's
Yeah.
try. Like, I don't think we're ready for him at this time.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we are not, right? Maybe I'm not ready, but maybe someone else could be ready, or you wait for the right time.
How do you guys address the issue of ego? Like, not necessarily in kids, but it could be in adults too. Like, goes back to what we were talking about earlier. Like, someone may think, oh, I am so good at this, I'm so good at that. Like, I have a student now, and he came in headlocking everybody real tight, like without the technical knowledge of how to do it, and then he's headlocking everybody real hard. I taught everybody how to get out of a headlock, and then but he just won't stop headlocking. I said, listen, you need to understand, I have such a good headlock. I'm like, it's not, there's more to this than that, you know what I mean? Like, I was wondering how you guys deal with the
don't
just
think
trying to get people to not think about themselves so much. Just
I don't-
around.
Yeah, I don't think I have that much to be honest, but I think the unfortunately you have to be the mat
Right, of course.
reinforcer. I guess.
Well, that's that.
You're
that
like,
yeah.
hey, come here, let me show you.
Let
how
me
to
show
work."
some.
Well, that's usually what we do. Is here you, Jimmy, go with him.
Show him like
Yeah.
how to do it,
But
so he
I wanna-
can know like, all
Do you
right,
know
man.
can make easier to you? Get the girl to show.
Get the girl to show.
That like because I feel that
You wanna
sometimes
bring
when
him-
I show like or go roll with
Sure,
that guys
sure,
like
sure.
man I'm a big guy black
Yes.
belt or whatever they like
Yeah.
nah that's easier he beat me I
Right.
get like whatever let me get the purple belt to here I know she can hang here he not gonna tap her in
So-
the headlock
Right.
but like I go you both here let's go
So the lesson has to be learned in their own heart. It cannot be a word they hear. You know what I
Can be
mean?
both.
I think it could. I don't know which I think it varies from person to
Right.
person to person, right? I don't really know. I usually talk to them. I think they follow the group. You know, they walk
I see, I
around.
see,
You
I
know,
see.
like maybe they saw somebody doing that before. I don't know. I don't know. I'm
or
guessing.
maybe not and he will stop because
yeah.
nobody doing maybe he's like
Yeah.
okay that's
Right.
not
Maybe
the-
it's working for him, and it's like, oh, it's working. I can
So
get
perhaps
everybody.
time, spending time with the group, you kind of like start to do things that they're doing, right? Okay, that's
And,
Culture-
one thing I
culture.
don't allow is
Culture.
my students to roll before two stripes.
okay.
Only after the
Kids and adults.
adults.
Adults. So what do you have them do when it's time to roll?
They
Watch.
before it's time to roll. We don't roll. Like
Right.
or they do specific training, or
Specific
there's
training.
no roll.
Okay,
So,
okay.
but they can only come. For
It-
those
it's
classes.
like live. It's not a live round. Like start, stand up.
Oh, okay.
Boom and
Still
porrada.
rolling.
It's rolling, but like
No.
okay. If it let me just
Sorry.
break that. If it is the technique, he close guard this
Yeah.
week. He do close guard specific.
Yeah.
You know, it's like that. Half guard.
or no,
like,
or not. You just keep it drilling the technique.
Right.
Because you don't have to. I think one thing that I start to understand is like when you get in a room and you see everybody rolling, you're not ready to roll. But what do you think? Oh, I
You
need
wanna
to roll.
roll?
Yeah.
I need to roll because everybody's doing it. Why I'm not doing it? I think about this to myself with other things.
Right.
I try to look at myself as a white belt. I go to place. Oh, that's how my students feel.
Right.
When I'm doing something else, oh, that's how they feel.
Right. You see,
Now I
see it from a third
feel,
perspective.
yeah. Because with something new for me, you know, doesn't need to be jiu-jitsu. It's like, oh, that's how my students feel. They feel sometimes embarrassed. They feel like they're gonna just watch around and see how people behave.
You put themselves
yeah.
in their. You put yourself in their shoes.
Kind of thing, you know.
I see.
Not that I only put. I think I when those things happen, I try to catch myself. Oh, that's how they feel.
And the first two stripes can fly by pretty quick. I mean, if you like, what's
For us, minimum
a few months, you know?
minimum 60 classes.
Yeah, 60
Yeah.
class, but then you know what he's doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You minimize the chance of injury.
Injury, wow.
And then they know. Now they know what they're doing. Now, hey, man, you're ready. If they're ready, hey, you're ready. Because going to
But
college.
sometimes he's not gonna be wearing 6 class. We need
Yeah.
to feel that. And
Sure, we can make it a choice of their choice.
That's the minimum
you can
one.
pick. Like
You
for
can
me, it's
pick.
like, hey, you feel like is
Okay.
this person ready with the minimum? It's like going to college.
I see.
You
I
go
see, I
to you start a medical school. You're not gonna do surgery right in your first month.
see. Right.
You gotta have to learn those things first until you get to do the job. You know, like
Yeah.
it's kind of like I treat it like a school. You know,
I like how you said specific training because you are letting them get that energy out and they get a feel for it, but then they have to be within that position.
And
I
there's
do
no
a lot of
scramble.
specific. I do a lot of specific. But like I feel like if the class do specific, everybody do it. If the class don't do it, nobody do it. You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
like to. Sometimes if like one brand new guy, you know what I mean? I be on the side with him, get my higher belt to. I have thanks God I have good instructors. You know what I mean? And I put them like to feed. Check it, look at the other guys, and I be with this new, brand new guy. But like if he already in the class, but still new, like maybe 3-4 weeks, I'm not gonna split the class only for him. You know what I mean?
Right,
It's like I'm
right.
not gonna put him on the side and only drilling.
No,
And all the other class doing all this stuff. I prefer like or everybody doing or nobody doing.
Right.
I feel like that dislocated. I don't like him.
And you don't
much,
really
I don't
have
know.
to roll to learn. We actually don't learn from rolling.
You don't.
learn from
Yeah,
rolling.
I try to explain that to people because they just want to roll for an hour. But I'm like, what are you doing when you're rolling? Are you applying any of the concepts that you've learned, or you just want to come in, get your sweat in, and then just go home? You know, it needs to be more of an academic process.
Yes.
When you split the class, I think make everything easy.
Yeah.
Like on the
Programs,
I'm like
programs.
on the beginner, like 5 months I open my school, but the beginner just has like one class, example, like
Yeah.
all levels. Now I split, man, my life is way easy. I have like the fundamentals and then intermediates,
Yes.
way easy. My life way easy now. That's like,
First hour this, second hour this. Yeah, yeah.
and that like
You,
makes
you see that he's following the advice.
Yeah, I want to
Sometimes he leaves,
yeah.
sometimes
So
he won't.
I have like sometimes like
listen. I want to go a step further. I want to visit your guys. I want to learn.
Hey,
you know?
more than
but
one.
I listen here a lot, but we still sometimes completely different. We fight a lot, man. We
All the
crazy. We
time.
like,
He calls, hey man, what the fuck is this? Oh, sorry guys. Hey, what is it, man? It's like, I think that's right. You're like, no, that's wrong. It's like, maybe it's right. And then he
no,
tells
you're
something.
fucking wrong, man.
know,
Like, sorry, guys, don't worry.
Like, and then like he tells him something like, I don't know, Max. I don't know, man.
What at the end of the day,
But
you
we
gotta,
listen,
Yeah,
and
hey,
maybe
one
I get
day-
home and think about it.
Yeah, we think, but we respect a lot of each other. You know, I love this guy so much, but like we get some ideas completely different sometimes, and we like, no, you're wrong, you're right, you're wrong, you're right. And sometimes I go home like, fuck, maybe JP is right.
That's right. Same thing, I guess. Like, man, let me think more about it.
but you got input. You know what I mean? That's something that I value.
And respect, like we
Yeah.
tell, like. Sorry, you can go.
No. I'm just saying the input is so valuable. You know what I mean? Sometimes like Nana may say something like, "Hey, you're overheating in kids class. You know, you need to chill, or maybe teach a little bit less. Let us drill a little bit more. You know, these are little tiny little feedbacks,
Yeah.
and I can start to structure my process.
I love to
correctly.
talk about this, man. I feel we learn so much. You know, this weekend,
how do you-
on sorry, man. I can go.
Bye.
This weekend we're on a tournament, and I meet a friend, Daniel Abu. He's from North Carolina. Man, he bring 5 kids for the tournament. All the 5 kids get gold.
Wow.
I'm like, man, like you got like a little killer, blah blah blah. And I start to talk to him about how he teach or whatever. It's like I figured out I'm not ready to teach like he teaching. You know what I mean, on my school, because I'm just open my school. You know what I mean. For real, I don't know if I wanna do like he do, but I learn a lot, man. We
Sure.
sit down on the table to eat. We be like 3 hours talk about teaching,
Yeah.
like competition,
This
whatever.
is what we like to do. So
Yeah, man.
why not get the best that you
right.
can
Yeah,
be?
but like, hey, shout out for Daniel. He coming to around soon. we should bring. Yeah. He'll go on the tournament rallying. Oh my god.
I can't say that.
Rally. PBJJF rally open,
PBJJF
guys.
Raleigh.
North Carolina, right?
Yeah.
Down
He
south.
say he go bring his kids down there. You know, be good. Like his adults too. He got a good school. It's nice, but like that talk, man, open my mind.
And here too, sure.
Yeah, like here today, you know. Shout out for Daniel. One
Shout out,
here too,
Daniel.
man.
One
When you
is-
come around.
And for you, how do you do? Like, how do you see like the growth of your school? Like, what is your thought process? You know, like.
Well, we I'm starting to realize that the kids do have the foundation. You know what I mean? That is like they're the most consistent. You know, we're in, like I was telling Max, we're in Philadelphia. A lot of things that adults can do. You know, so I feel like I have to get creative. You know, I have to offer different plans. I have to appeal to adults in from a way where they're gonna make new friends, or they're gonna join a community. We're trying to do things more as a team. We've been doing like UFC fights at people's houses. We did floating down a river in tubes, you know, like the tube you time together. So we're trying to, I think we need to do more of those type of things, of kind of like promote the spirit of community, you know.
I like this a
I
lot.
want to do that more often too.
Just like I feel like the other day they were like, oh, can we let's get a TV for the gym and watch the UFC here on the mats. You know, people can roll and then people
And
can watch.
train,
People
yeah,
can
like
watch the
watch.
UFC like at the gym. So I feel like promoting that is gonna continue to I feel like the ball is rolling, like you were saying with your gym. Like now it's starting to snowball effect. People are telling other people, and then the kids. I feel like adding another class, adding more instructors, more headaches, but more upscale. You got to scale everything up, to the next level.
I feel get more
think that's
instructions
important.
help a lot too.
More instructors.
It's hard to find the right one sometimes, but
Some are better for kids, some better for
yeah,
adults.
you gotta figure out to like help them figure out because sometimes they don't know
Yeah.
what he good enough, but like test then.
But
Test
sometimes
it,
they really
push it.
like it, and I see somebody who could be doing the same thing that I'm doing. I feel like I would be cheating them if I didn't encourage them to do the same thing, and to try to teach a class, try to draw a lesson plan. I really try to put a lot into the studying aspect of it. So a lot of my time is spent like conceptualizing, taking notes, watching. Like I have multiple notebooks that I try to like compare. I do like mini studies. Like if I don't like know fully the position, I'm gonna like watch every single video on it that's available, and then just take what each, you know what I mean? Like mountain.
That's awesome. Oh my god.
We're so many things you could do that with. I don't know, a knife defense. You know what I mean? I watched 100 knife defense videos to see like what are the similarities? Like what are people doing? You know what I mean? Like with the high attack or the low attack, just to study the self-defense as a whole separate aspect, because this person is not trained. You know what I mean? They're throwing a stupid punch, or they're doing a headlock that they shouldn't do. You know what I mean? Like that.
The natural reaction.
That to me presents its own challenge. You know what I mean? And then so the self-defense is fun for me, and also I really like to study the positions. You know what I mean? Like
I have a student like that, Brando. I told you.
Totally.
I feel like I'm also a big fan of writing it down on paper. You know what I mean? That's been something that's been helping me a lot. Like here it is. Something that makes me feel really good is having what I'm gonna do the rest of the day in front of me already before I walk into the gym. That's something I tell my guys all the time. Like if you have the plan written out and you show up and then boom, it's right there, and then
You don't have to think.
of course it's harder. You have kids, you have things, responsibilities, you have this to maintain. So basically what I've done is dedicated my entire life to this. I don't know if I'm gonna have kids. You know what I mean? Like I am literally just, I got two goals.
We can feel the passion from you. Like
I got two goals. I got the athlete goal and the business goal, and then I'm dedicated 24 hours of my life to it.
And one complete each other, no?
Yeah,
both
one
goals.
will feed each other,
Yeah.
but I think that I'm, by going all into it, and that's what I'm trying to tell my students, that you got to go all in.
Yeah.
That's why like some of the things I like about our organization is the belt testing. We only belt test twice a year. So you're not going to get anything unless you're a white belt. You can get a stripe or something. So nothing wrong with random promotions either, but I feel like the way we've been doing it kind of takes the pressure off. You know what I mean? You're not going to, if you do really well, you're not going to get your belt on a Tuesday. You know what I mean? Doesn't matter if you submit every single blue belt in the room, it's just not going to come to you that day. And it takes the pressure off fighting for promotions. You know what I mean? Just, again, refocusing on what matters the most. The techniques, right? The techniques and transitions. And but sometimes you guys brought up so much more human aspect of it that after this conversation, I'm going to think about that more, because you cannot just be all technical. You know what I mean? You have to be
people. It's about people.
Yeah.
One thing I do a little bit different. I don't know if Max do. I think
For kids,
a
I
little
do
bit different.
similar.
so. What I do is because people don't start at the same time, so I
Yeah.
can't force you to achieve your goal at the same time as someone. Think about like someone start in April and another person start in November. Like that's how I think.
Yes.
So I try to get them on their own training schedule, because now we have software that we track the amount of class they have,
Okay.
the amount of time they train. So I have the minimum requirement for them to hit. Once they hit the minimum, then they're allowed to move to the next stripe or the next belt. And to the belt, I do a test
Nice.
for each individual student.
Okay.
Takes more time for us,
More job,
more, but that's how I've been doing, you know. But I
For kids, they follow that. Adults, they don't decide yet.
yeah,
For you guys, like I'm 5 months.
yeah.
I don't have nobody. The
You
only
don't-
person
yeah, you don't have
I
to worry about
promote
it, yeah.
is coming from other school. You know, I just
Yeah.
like because I work. I teach in another school before, and when I transitioned to that one, he come with me. You know, and his time already. But I promoted him on my school. And but after that, I don't have nobody yet to ready.
Not
But
yet.
I don't know. For you, I should decide this.
Yeah.
Because it's coming. It's coming. I have
Yeah,
like
yeah.
some white belts, like 4 stripe is getting close, you know, for blue belt. But I don't decide yet what I'm gonna do. If I would do like twice a year, before I was doing like that, like June, July, and
Yeah.
December. You know.
What benefit did you see from actually tracking their attendance? Is it like is this
on
the
me. I'm messing it up. They're not. They're not improving.
We can't count.
It's my fault.
I see. I was
They
looking at it.
rely on me.
I was looking at it from something that is a necessity when you get to a bigger number, because you can't tell how many times this guy's been to class.
You
Like for your
came from the
from
software.
the software.
Yeah, on the software.
Because
Yeah.
the software is helping us. I know how many class they have, what
Yeah.
class they attended, how many times they have been on that stripe, on that level.
Are they checking in when they come?
They
in?
check
checking
in,
in.
yeah.
What do you guys use?
I use
was
Zen
iPad.
Planner.
Zen Planner.
Yeah.
That's Zen Planner.
So
The
it's-
Max is a different one. You can track everything. As well.
Yeah, it's still almost the same thing.
No, we don't use that one. They don't sponsor us.
no, I'm just
I'm
curious.
kidding.
It's
But
it's good. It's okay.
Yeah, no, Zen
I
Planner,
use it.
I
I
tell
use Zen
people
Plan
about
before
it.
too. I use Zen Plan.
Zen Planner, if you
before,
want
too.
to sponsor us. Actually, we're talking to.
Always available.
There's a software company that reach out to us. Maybe
Yeah.
they would join the.
Okay.
If they have the same future, I would definitely.
For now,
use
maybe
them.
when I have more students, I will need to change. But for now,
Yeah, you need whatever.
what
you
I
have.
need. They
The
they
check-in's
catch.
also good to see. Like, say you didn't pay your bill, you come in to check in, you can't check in, right? Yeah.
Everything, I think.
Right.
That's a good thing,
The
too.
software send out
At some point. At some
Yeah.
point.
automatic message, but I
Yeah.
don't really worry about that. To be
No,
honest.
no.
Like that, man. It's kind of like, hey,
Yeah, most of the time, if the guy don't pay the bill, he don't show up.
yeah, no,
You're
but
not gonna-
it's not about that. It's like, man, life happens, Like,
Yeah.
man, I support you. I know you
Sure,
kid
sure,
there.
Yeah.
Like it's just it's mostly for like to track their, because now we can, like, I never was able to track my own training.
Yeah.
Like I did so many classes that I didn't even know.
One thing,
data.
you-
You don't have the data. You probably don't have the data from your training. Now they have.
Yeah.
I have a student that he's a blue belt. He's already over 100 classes. The minimum requirement is 65 as a blue belt
Sure.
for this stripe. But he already hit his pass already
Right.
before he was ready
time.
by time. So I have minimum
It's
requirement
like a
of time.
game. You know, like he got another class. He got another
No,
class.
he's but it doesn't. It
But
doesn't really
it's good
matter
to
anymore. For
engage,
him, it's
so-
just the.
But that's for
It's
real
an
engage,
incentive.
you know.
It's an incentive,
Yeah.
bro. Like, hey, listen, I got 100 classes. I got 200 classes.
Hey, and
I got-
he receives an email. Hey,
Yeah.
you hit this amount of class.
not bad.
It's like, and I think that's also how we can take the control of our own journey, because like now I don't depend on you. I know the minimum requirement for me. Like I need to start this amount. I need to show up this amount. It's not on professor. Like, professor, I think my hair looks good today.
Sure.
Hey, I think you're ready. Your hair looks good. It's my point of view, of course.
But it's a minimum request. That don't
Minimum
means you're gonna be ready.
You need for example, like he gets more class than he needs it, but he doesn't have the time he needs, So
I
he
see.
still needs like
That track I
finish the
follow.
prime.
Hey, that track I follow.
No, because we chat about those stuff,
yeah.
and I'm sharing what I believe, and if people share with me what they believe, and I might be like, man, that might be interesting, because I didn't always do this way,
Sure. You've
So
learned. You've
I've-
improved your process.
I've
But he
tried
learned it from
different
that
ways.
too. No, you like from the school you come, it's
Yeah,
kind of
I'm
almost like that too.
I'm Alliance Black Belt, so Alliance already had a system that were more prepared. But before it wasn't like that, like.
But I feel like
Change
every
it,
every
yeah.
year you probably make huge improvements. Like I look at a video of us 4 years ago, just what the activities for kids look like or whatever, like, and then just like picking up little bits and pieces over time, and now it's like 100 times more
Yeah.
better than what it was, just because I kept my mind open. You know, I feel like the ego in this position can really get the best of you. You know what I mean? Because you're a black belt, you can easily stop improving. You can stop.
I'm good enough.
I'm good, you know what I mean? I'm gonna go teach seminars or like whatever, you know what I mean? But like we want to get better, you know. You guys want to sit here, you want to talk to other school owners, you want to kind of understand how they do things because it's ultimately going to make your product better, you know.
Well, I learn so much every time somebody sit there, man.
all the time.
Yeah.
Like so many things.
I'm gonna start watching.
Yeah, like
I already
you
watched
should.
a few.
So many.
I've already watched a few.
So many interested people in different ways. We're talking about earlier we're talking about like we want to open in one day a non-profit organization, and Amanda Riggs, she actually works with non-profit.
And we don't know that.
We didn't know that, and she was like, "Yeah, do that." I was like, "How would you do for jiu-jitsu?"
She give you
And then
ideas.
she's like,
Yeah.
"I would do this," and I'm like, "Man, that's so awesome. We need people like you in
Yeah.
jiu-jitsu also to like maybe use your knowledge to maybe teach other people to do this in another area and can help communities, can help their jiu-jitsu community, can help people in poverty or people that want to be athletes.
Yeah.
I don't know what, different goals, but having someone with that knowledge, like I think that knowledge is like a different knowledge, like from things we've done in the past, So I think that's the interest, like really an interest part. We're hanging out here, like we forget sometimes the kids.
I forget all the time.
Like we're talking about random stuff.
And that's really the inspiring part, like the community part of it. Like I watch a lot of videos like of Brazil, like people training on like not necessarily dirt floor, but like puzzle mats in someone's backyard. But like, you forget sometimes like what the essence of what we do is. You know what I mean? You don't need fancy gis. You don't need to, you don't need social media. At the core of it, there's some dude or some girl who was putting in 10 hours a day. Like I shared a video of Lo. He did an interview with Galvão, and then he said that the moment when it clicked, he was doing 18 rounds a day. You saw that video? He was drilling 2 hours. And then
when he got his black belt.
I saw another video of a kid who says he gets up at 5 a.m. and he's, but that's no amount of social media can get you to do that. You know what I mean? Like just working hard.
So
I think we gotta start for the right reason. Like if you're starting for following and money, like I don't think it's the way to go.
That's what I'm trying to explain to kids, that you don't need to be some kind of guy or build some kind of person. I saw somebody one time.
Or persona.
Persona,
A lot of
right.
they create personas.
I saw somebody describe one time, you don't need to compete in this and this to build your following, as if building the following was the number one goal. But I said, man, I want to challenge myself. I said, if I don't want to just build a following. What's that gonna do for me later down the road? It's nothing. I want to be the best I can. We have this opportunity to compete for so many years. Why are we gonna?
You're testing yourself, like on the mats. That's the way.
You're still going at it.
I'm not as much now. I ended up moving to the US to build one school, and then I leave the school, and then I started building my own school. Well, at their other place where Max actually used to teach, I was more active competing.
Yeah.
And then I decided to move to teach, not open my own
When
school.
he left that place, he gave me his spot on that school, and he opened his own school.
Okay.
And I teach on that school for a while.
And now I'm building a good group of, after COVID, we're building a group where my students give me good training, like they ask me about it. It's like, maybe Max is like, go JP, let's do it.
I push every week. I keep like, hey, we plan about it when we go come back.
But my folks was building the school, taking care of my students, and then we have PBJJF and other things going on. But now, like, I have more help on the mats. Like, I really.
But
feel
JP
like,
fight a lot back in the day.
Yeah,
too,
I did fight.
fight a lot of
a lot
big
of big
names
guys.
too. It's
But,
like I don't know. I feel competition is something you need to like feel that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Sometimes like I have that time. Sometimes like I'm a little bit. whatever. I did it, man. I like competed since I'm 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know, like people talk about like words like in 1 month. You know, like for PBJJF, and like, hey, you go compete in words. You just fight this weekend, then you get 4 golds, whatever. Blah blah blah. I'm like, man, my focus is not on that. You know, and I wanna go. I fight words since 2012. I don't miss anyone.
Wow.
How is that? I won all belts: blue, purple, brown, black belts. I get like silver and bronze.
Yeah.
2 bronze and 1 silver. You know,
That's amazing.
that's like I did a lot.
That's pretty good.
For you,
bro.
it's like I'm not like fighting on. You know what I mean? I
Right.
don't want to just go there to hang out to see California. I've been to California many times, whatever. You know what I mean? If you put your name there, you should really want to be there. Do you understand?
sure.
That's
He wants
the-
to get to the big stage,
Yeah.
PBJJF Worlds.
Yeah.
He wants to get the real deal.
But like the things like when but that fight come up and coming down sometimes, you know what I mean? It's like last weekend where I fight, it's just I have time. I wanna fight. I still love to do that. You know what I mean? I'm like, all right, how we doing? I'm healthy. My not 100% health, but like less painful. You know, I'm like, how we do?
Then that's what I think where I'm at is I'm trying to figure out like how to split my time, you know what I mean? Because I train like, 2-3 times a day, but then I have to also push the business, and then I have to like, do I roll today or do I just teach the guys and make sure they don't
Now with this new school, some days I don't even roll.
right.
That's like impossible. Like a lot of brand new guys, when I see, I'm like, fuck, I gotta give attention to this guy. Sometimes I plan. I'm like, all right, that should be like, wow, okay, my purple belt show up today. You know, that's my
Yeah.
best friend. You know? Okay, my brother he's today. Okay, I'll train, and boom, two brand new guys.
Oh, and then that's it.
That's
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
My attention's not about here. I need to pay the bills. I'll focus on these guys
That's
and
so true.
forget about my training. Then I mean, okay, maybe tomorrow. And if tomorrow I can, I do. If you don't, whatever. You know, unfortunately on that moment, I'm like on that. Unfortunately, because I dream with that moment. Has my own school. Then I mean,
Yes.
sorry for the word. Sorry God.
You're in the position you want to be.
Yeah.
But it's not easy.
It's not easy. It's not easy because
You're a dog. You want to get it.
Yeah.
but,
You know what I mean? But
what can we do?
it's good. It's fine. It's fine to me. You know. I hope I don't hope if it happens, then I building like a good of group who want to compete or every day we help each other. Maybe fight. I back fight.
What about MMA? Like what led you to want to be an MMA fighter, and then
Why challenge? For real, I started jiu-jitsu back in the day because MMA. You know, it's like I'm a kid. I see some MMA things, whatever. I like it, and too much energy, whatever. My dad bring me for jiu-jitsu, you know. But I always look at one day I'll fight MMA, one day I'll fight MMA, and that coming true. And I always talk about this with my friends. Like when I'm like 28, I will start to focus on MMA. When I turn 28, I'll focus on MMA. And that's what I did. I turned 28. I start to like slow down a little bit on jiu-jitsu. And for you, not 28, 29, I fight a lot of jiu-jitsu, but I start to think about MMA.
Yeah.
I get like, all right, I'll start training Muay Thai here. Boom, some box. And I found that gym to train MMA.
You just recently fought, right?
Yeah. Maybe last month. Unfortunately, get my first lost in MMA. But happens, no?
Yeah.
It's like you get in the cage, two mans. One should win, one should lost.
I'm sure you went straight pro too. You know?
I get straight pro.
People,
I
my
get,
professor too. Nobody want to fight him
Yeah.
amateur.
Nobody,
I get
yeah.
six amateur cancel, fight cancel.
Wow, six.
Six.
Six
And in 1 year.
camps. Six
Yeah.
camps where you bust
And I'm
your
like,
ass.
No, definitely it's not. Like sometimes 3 is like on
Trying
the
to
same week.
find a man.
3 on the same week. That guy accept. That guy cancel. That guy accept. That guy accept. You know? And I'm like, whatever.
That's crazy.
For the MMA too, like the words the guys told me, like, hey, we're not gonna do camps for the MMA too. We go keep
Right,
it train
right.
and see like when we found the
Man,
event
those
we doing.
guys. What's the worst that can happen? Mac's gonna tap you out. You know, it's
Yeah.
amateur. You know what I mean?
But he knocked out the
I knock out to one, yeah. It's like that's a good one. It's funny. It's that, but I get scared because
beef took me is better.
I prefer take it out the guy, tap, punch, and tap in here.
Right.
Feels better. I feel better. I feel I use something I really love. You know what I mean? It's the jiu-jitsu too. You know. But I probably will fight MMA again. You know, and end the year I have some plans. Need to figure out. Today is crazy, but today is easy to train MMA than jiu-jitsu.
Wow.
Because MMA I don't train on my school.
You go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Just bust it out real
It's
quick.
different. Like on my school, where I'm there, I know I need to build in something. Do you understand? I do couple like privates, like I bring a boxer to my school. I do some private on my school, but outside the timing, I teaching. Do you understand?
Yeah.
It's like on different times. But today is way easier to train MMA than jiu-jitsu.
For the position that
The
you're
position
in.
are, you know.
That's a beautiful place to be, though. You know, your students, your birds that you get to.
Yeah, it's good. I like to train with them too, but it's not to be on the level. You know, I train a lot with my students, but it's different. You know, like you guys know, like to special ultra heavyweight.
No, yeah.
It's like I can't just get on a school, do 2-3 rounds with my students and think I'll be prepared. Do you understand?
No.
I'm not.
Even
Maybe
if
for
you-
maybe for like a open or whatever, maybe to have like 1-2 match stuff on a
Yeah.
open is different than like it has like a full bracket with
Even if
killers
you
on a
Shark
big
Tank
event.
yourself, you're not getting that same.
But when I do that, I don't think about my students sometimes. That I mean, I should have like a class prepared. Now on the moment I have, I can't. I do Shark Tank. I train to myself.
Yeah.
Then I mean maybe if I have an advanced class, some now I hope in the intermediate will be a little bit easier because they get like collar belts. Maybe not probably that works, but before only white belts is hard, impossible. I do Shark Tank, the white belts go jump on my back and they don't know what they do it. But like with the copper, purple, and blue belts,
Yeah.
they not. You know what I mean? No.
But Max is still competing at the highest level.
I
dude.
know.
Like we do a lot of things,
That's
you know.
awesome.
Like that's a big deal, man.
It's inspiration to me just because I'm in this position, you know, and I want to figure it out. I want to keep
It's
going.
hard, but you have more higher belts than I have.
Starting to, yeah.
Or body type is a little
The
bit different.
city is attracting
Be a
different people.
heavyweight is hard. I do a lot of specific,
Yeah, I'm
like
tiny.
Shark Tank. I do like these things when I think about competing. When I put myself, all right, I competed that tournament. I do a lot of these Shark Tanks, you know, but I pick a right class to do. You understand?
Fully.
Man, it's been such a great
Yeah.
time here with you.
I
Anton.
love it, guys.
Wow.
Man,
Awesome.
we're going all over the
I appreciate it.
thoughts, you know. Like it's really.
It's
really
good you talk
to-
about everything, you know.
everything. Yeah, like here's like a conversation. We're hanging out, you know, talking. Share a little bit of your, you know, like a jiu-jitsu background, so people can know about that too, and talking about a lot of random
Yeah.
stuff, you know.
But for anyone listening, you know, can stay with your professor. You know what I mean? Like it's like loyalty. Loyalty in the sport is so. You know, you hear people sometimes they leave, they didn't get a stripe, they didn't get a belt. You know, I think of all the times I've spent with my professor and we butt heads, and I don't agree with some of the. You know, he'd come at me. You know, but none of the times would ever make me think of leaving. You know what I mean? Like I would never leave because of that. Because you know, so now like I'm getting so much more out of that because I have that connection. You know, he come to do our promotion. I come to him to train and roll
And one thing is like now you're on his spot. You can understand things that he told you
Yeah.
in the past that you wouldn't understand on your spot. You know, like maybe he was telling you things that, or you're telling your students something. Hey, this is the way. You only know when you're on that spot.
Yeah.
You know, like I remember my professor who would do things like, right.
Yeah, whatever.
And
we'll
now
do that.
like I really understand the why and you know.
right.
And how and why he was doing those things, you know, like
And it's a different set of challenges. Like now you're established. If he come to you now, your first reaction may be like, oh, like I already know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, and then he's like, you don't know what you're doing. But that's when you need it the most. You know what I mean? Like
I
that's-
still bring my
why
for jiu-jitsu is hard, but like MMA for my camps, I still bring one of my professors from Brazil, you know, for like helping my to finish off my camp, to like get me ready. Sometimes Josh he don't need to say nothing.
Yeah.
Sometimes he just need to be around. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
It's crazy.
The energy.
Energy. Like, man, don't say nothing today. Just you stay here and look at me train. That's like change a lot. Crazy. You know what I mean?
But even the thing you told me, he told you like, hey Max, do jiu-jitsu on the MMA, right?
Yeah.
Like he's like, man, do jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You told me that after.
And he fought a lot of MMA back in the day
Right.
too, but like because we have like Master Julio, we still master,
Yes.
but like when I get on GF10, I'm a blue belt on a competition room with brown and black belts. I'm the first blue belt on that room, you know what I mean? And that's like I start to figure I should figure out other places to train under the 17, but it's closed, you know what I mean? And I meet Arthur. Arthur is like affiliation on the GF team, close to that place. And I cross train on both, and Arthur and Julio Cesar. And before him, I have Erma Santos and Thiago Oliveira. That's like my professors,
Right.
That's the people who helped me to get here. But on the end time, it's like Master Julio and Arthur, back to back. Arthur is all my coach on like big tournaments. He always behind me.
Yeah.
He helped building my game a lot. But Julio's kind of like above here,
Right.
above here.
Loyalty just pays, man. It just really helps you out, and it keeps the team together. Like I feel like the consumerism makes people feel like they need to always chase. Let me go over here. They got a better berimbolo. Let me go over here. They got a.
No, like when I talk like this, it looks.
How the grass is always.
Yeah, the grass is always greener, man. This guy might give me my blue belt sooner.
Yeah, but that's great.
But
like
but that's what it is.
When I talk about these professors, looks like I cross train or jump on the schools. Now I start you on the GF team.
Yes.
When I'm with the Irma Sons on the social project.
Yeah.
And then when like I'm turning 14, my parents moved from another state. I should follow my parents, and I meet the art.
Wait, you say Guilherme Santos, like the Novo União?
No, Irma Santos.
Irma
Irma
Santos.
Santos.
Okay.
Under GF team too.
Gotcha.
But he's like a social project,
Right.
It's like a nice thing
Sure.
this guy do. And then after I moved to Espírito Santo, I'm at 14 years old. I should follow my parents, But when I'm like turning 18, I'm like, I gotta come back.
Yeah.
My mom, you crazy? 17. Like, you crazy? No, you're not gonna go, blah, blah, blah. And then back to Rio to train with the Irma and Julio, because Julio's above Irma. Julio's the founder from GF on the headquarters. But like, that's too far away. And Irma told, go train with Julio. I'm the only blue belt on this room, on the competition room. Crazy. Some days I don't score any advantage on nobody.
Sure.
But it's good because building.
But you knew you needed that.
And on that time, I found the Arthur's close, and like a guy close to my body type, black belt with a bunch of experience already, and under Julio, 215, he's still coming for the competition train, beat my butt on that time on the normal competition class, and on night, I back to his school to train to him on his school, you know what I mean? And then I'm like on a normal class. How would say commercial. I'm in a commercial class.
Yeah.
I'm a student on that time because on the morning class I'm not. It's not students that
Competition,
the
right?
competition class is what they do.
Invitation only.
Only
right?
invitation for color belts, because I'm the only one that time, and the owners of other GF teams come to that school to train together.
That's a good train.
Yeah, crazy man. Like the first day I'm there is like 40 black belts.
Wow.
40 and I'm only blue belt in the match and couple brown belts. I'm like, what I'm doing here? But it's good because
That's
like,
how you get better. Yeah.
man, that make my jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
and make my personality. How to say that? Personality.
Yeah. That's the way. And Anthony, thank you so much.
No,
for
thank
coming
you guys.
here
I know
today.
it's a long day for
We
you.
really appreciate
You've been
it.
here, I'm sure, all day.
Yeah, and we would stay here until like
No, but you gotta
one day.
get.
One day, we stayed until 2 a.m. 2 a.m. and then another hour just talking outside
with
until 3. Talita,
Oh yeah.
Treta.
Oh, she's from Fortaleza, right? Talita.
No, Talita.
No, that's Alencar. Talita
Alencar.
Alencar.
Treta is from São Paulo.
Okay.
She's in California now. Like she's a really tough women. And man, like we started like 10 and we went into like 2.
Yeah.
And then we finished and kept talking.
Because then you turn the English off and then you just go. Yeah.
We did actually Portuguese with her. The first one, she's like, hey, can we do Portuguese?
Hey, whatever.
And then we saw that on YouTube after we uploaded, you can do like subtitles. Like,
Yeah.
Let's do it Portuguese. So
I would love to see Roll live if you guys ever want to do. Our academy is pretty cool looking, you know. If you guys,
that's awesome. We're gonna definitely make it happen
before one of these events.
for sure. And another thing is, who would you like to see here? Watch us interviewing or talking here on the podcast. A dream one.
I'd love to see like more like maybe like Marcelo Garcia. You know, that'd be a cool one to just because he has such a cool demeanor. You know, I wish him healthy recovery from his situation, but that would be a cool one to have. Or
all the best for you, man.
or or JT. You know, you guys, JT would be a cool guest to have. So such a positive person to be around. You know what I mean?
True, Jay, very good. We have 2, 1, 2, 3. We have 3.
Also, women too. Emily Kwok, you know who Emily Kwok is. She's in New Jersey. She's
from Marcelo.
She's a Marcelo black belt. Yeah. So
she's a bit. Long time I don't see she compete. I don't think so.
She's still doing masters. She just won Pans last year. Yeah,
good.
So she's good.
Let's maybe we'll reach out and get a connection.
Because women in jiu-jitsu are doing so much, you know. I want to know what they're doing, you know.
Yes, we too. We want to. We're really supportive of the women's.
I just have a women's seminar today at my school this morning. Yeah, it's like we try to push a lot of that too.
One day, there will be more women than men on the mats.
Oh, for sure. I think they learn faster. Yeah. I straight up tell people, listen, when women come, you don't have to even correct. They're already
catch it way easy.
Because the guys, they think they hear the detail, they didn't hear the detail.
the thing is, they need more jiu-jitsu than us.
Yeah, and they need it for self-defense. But, you know, at a certain point, self-defense is good.
Yeah, but like for self-defense.
Right.
They physically need to turn their bodies into a weapon for self-defense. You know,
but the knowledge, I feel like, is knowledge is being absorbed at a faster rate.
But the way of the needed, like of self-defense, will bring them to actually like understand the whole world of jiu-jitsu. But I think like we're gonna see that happening because of assault. You know, like the amount of women. You know, like it's crazy. The numbers are crazy and not acceptable. So.
And we're also making the sport friendlier. We're not. It's not just a bunch of angry dudes in a room trying to kill each other. Like no, there's fundamentals classes. There's old women's classes. There's, you know, we're educating men on how to roll with smaller people. You know, respect.
To take keep your ego outside of the door or minimize. It's important to have ego to like push yourself to try, like to push a little bit harder sometimes. But you have to learn how to manage it. You know, like so. That's the way we're trying to do it.
It's great meeting people with same philosophy.
Hey, thank you so much.
You guys.
So much, man.
And
before we finish, we doing a giveaway. We're doing a giveaway on the PBJJF Instagram. All right.
I shared that. Yep.
On the comments, tag 2 friends.
At least 2.
More you tag is better. More chances you have. You know. Win. And make sure you follow Brave, PBJJF, JP Ferreira, and Max Gimenis.
Brave Gee's the best in the business, you know. High quality stuff, you know.
Let's go.
No loose strings in the pants, you know. Everything is nice and clean.
That's the way to do it. If you look, we tell the guys, hey, if you look good, you fight better.
Yes.
That's the way.
I love it.
If you feel better, if you feel good, you fight better. And as well, like getting back to Brave, so go to Brave Kimonos and use PBJJF discount code to receive 10% off. And if you're a school owner, Brave also has a wholesale program where you can go to the wholesale. You can go to the website, apply for the wholesale account, and then you are going to be able to purchase products to sell in your own school
Get good
with
deals.
discounts. Yeah. Thank you
Awesome.
guys so much for joining
Thank
us.
you.
Usa,
Thank you,
let's
Anton.
go. Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Thank you, Russell. Thank you, Russell.
That was awesome.
Good talk, no man.